Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Brother Tony.
I tried for days to go through proper channels, but I couldn't wait any longer. Mike might not have pursued her, but I sure was gonna. Hi, I'd like to see Carol Berry, please.
Is she expecting you?
Is anyone ever really expecting anyone?
So that's a no. No appointment, no seeing. Now you can call our 1-800 number.
No, you really can't, because I tried and... Can I just use your bathroom?
Employees only.
Oh, nervous bladder.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today is an award-winning actor with over 50 years of acting experience. Now, you just saw one of her numerous outlets best known to television audiences. I like the way she says, "Can I go in the bathroom over there?" And she just made a cut over there. But once a year, this lady opens the doors where dozens of folks come together at the event known as the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival. And by the way, this event is here for their 32nd annual festival called Stronger Together. Ladies and gentlemen, Adilah, 32 years, not bad. Thank you, my dear. Glad to have you.
What a wonderful introduction. I appreciate that, Ron.
You bring it to me, lady. You bring it. You always bring it to me. So let's ask the question. Tell us how this organization started.
Okay, it was back in 1993, and I was at a conference that was being put on by the California Arts Council. They had a big conference. It was in Pasadena, and at that time they had a touring roster, and if you were selected, you were in this beautiful booklet, and that was distributed throughout the state of California for those who would like to book either individual artists, groups, or whomever. And I happened to be one of the artists. And so they had this huge conference. I met a woman there, Miriam Reed. She was not on the roster, but she wanted to get on the roster. And we discovered that we were kindred spirits in that I portray historical women and hers are Anglo. So by the end of the conference, they had everyone come together in this big room to powwow, and they asked for announcements. So Miriam came up with the bright idea of asking, Adilah, what do you think about me going up to see if there are other solo artists here, and if they meet us in the back of the room, and maybe collectively we can figure out how to support each other? I said, I think it's a great idea. So she went up, made the announcement, singled me out, raised my hand, and it was a huge conference. So here come all these women at the end, actors, dancers, storytellers, performance artists, musicians, etc. And so two women said, well, we have a space at the Burbank Little Theater. So by the end of that evening, we had decided we would go there. And after that first night at the Burbank Little Theater, the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival was formed.
You mentioned a four-letter word, one of my favorite four-letter words. You know what that is?
No.
Idea. You ladies had an idea.
Idea.
Yes.
That's right.
Idea.
And it proved to be something that was more than just an idea. It was really a seed for the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival.
How many folks were there at the beginning?
Oh, wow. You mean our initial group that came together?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't remember exactly, but it probably was for that first meeting, I'm guessing, that was many years ago, but maybe probably around 15 women or so. But there were 7 of us who were really the co-founders. We're the ones who actually formed the organization that stayed with it.
How many you got now?
I'm the last day-to-day co-founder. However, the others are still connected in one way or another. So Miriam Reed, for example, she was on the screening panel this year in selecting the performers that would perform for 2025. Well, actually, we met in 2024 for 2025. So she just worked with us as a screening panelist. So they're all still connected in one way or another, coming back to co-hosts, donors, what have you.
For those out in the world who are not aware of your group, how do you get them to join you?
Well, there are a number of different ways they can become a part of us. If they're interested in being a performer, they would submit during the time that we receive submissions. That's generally in April. Our website is www.lawtf.org if they are interested in being a performer. However, there are many other ways that those who are interested may be a part of us. They actually may decide that they're interested in being a volunteer. They may want to be an audience member. They may want to be an official sponsor. They may want to be an advertiser. They may want to attend workshops and panels. There are many, many ways they can become a part of us.
Changes that you have seen in business. Tell us about that. A lot of it's going on.
In terms of our organization,
Yes, ma'am.
changes, we certainly have grown since 1993. We've produced close to 700 solo artists from around the globe. 6 out of 7 of the continents. The only continent we haven't is Antarctica, and that's so far away. I'm not expecting any from there, and that coldness up there. But the other 6, we've had artists from the other 6 continents.
Good changes, good changes. By the way, did you have a good time at what happened last night? What do they call that thing? Oscar? Did you have a good time?
Oh, the Oscars. Yes, yes, yes. It's always an exciting night. And everybody's so jazzed and ready to find out who's going to win what. So it's really, really, that's our Hollywood night for those in entertainment.
Okay. The Champagne Gala and Awards Ceremony. This is on Thursday, March 27th, 2025. You've got 2 people. One of them, Ted Lange.
That's right.
Put the picture. Oh, there you look at that.
There's Ted. He and I spent many years. He's originally from the Bay, and I lived there for 17 years. So we have the Bay Area in common. And then Margaret Avery, she's our second person. There she is. Oh, wow. I haven't seen that photo. Wow. Jazzy. Jazzy. And she's been with us a number of years. She's been an awardee. She is one of our donors, and she's been a co-host, a great supporter of the festival, both of them.
You've got about 7 people who are being honored this year. Can you tell us who they are, please?
Yes, actually, we have 6 who are being honored. And let me just get my little cheat sheet here. And so this year, we have 2 who are receiving the Infinity Award, and that's given to someone who has passed, and that's Mitzi Gaynor and Nancy Davis, founder of Town Street Theater. Mitzi Gaynor, I don't think she needs an introduction. Many of us know who she is. And Dawn Didewick is receiving our Eternity Award. Juanita Jennings, the Integrity Award. Elisa Bocanegra, the Maverick Award, and Julie Kim, the Rainbow Award. So we're honoring 6 this year. Sometimes it's 5. This year there are 2 for the Infinity. Couldn't make a decision, and they both were nominated and worthy, so we said we're going with 6.
I should mention, ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 honorary chairpersons for this organization. Can you please tell us who they are?
That's Danny Glover and Hattie Winston. And have been for many, many years.
Yes.
Probably, I think, since the late 90s, actually.
Hattie just had a birthday, didn't she?
You know what? I think today is actually her birthday, and I'm glad you said that. You reminded me. I believe today is the day. I've got to call her.
Now you see where they get the term stronger together.
There you go. There you go. Particularly in these times.
Let's go down, if you will. The first down we have is the 6 o'clock Champagne Gala on Thursday, March 27th. Okay.
That's actually going to start at 6:30.
Okay.
And then we will do the award ceremony with all the women I just mentioned. And we also are going to have 3 performers that evening. We are going to have 2 dancers, one of whom is Ashley Gale. She has a piece called Actualization of a Dream. She's danced with us before. And we also have, all of these women have been with us before. We have Vanya Ibarguen, She has a piece called Path to Home,
Hmm.
other dancer. And then our vocalist, Karen A. Clark, and she has a piece called Superwoman.
Hmm. Okay, there she is. That's her. Okay.
That's her. That's her.
Now, one of the things the way you have it set up that you have different events going on. Some people are learning over here. People are doing it. Tell us what's going to happen, please.
So we're going to have the 6 programs that we always have. So we start with the gala on that Thursday night. Then we have our Friday night program. And the theme of that one, our overall theme, as you said, is Stronger Together. And then Friday night's theme is, well, Thursday night's theme is A Toast To. Friday night's theme is A Woman's Choice. Saturday matinee's theme is A Look Back in Time. Saturday night, Unsilenced. Sunday matinee, we have encore. These are performers who have been with us before and are invited back. And then we'll end with, on Sunday night, that'll be at 7 p.m. The other evening shows are at 8. And that theme is family portraits. So if you want, I can tell you more about each
Please.
of the programs if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So on Friday night, we've got 4 performers. We have Maggie C. She has a piece called Ladies at a Gay Bar, a Gay Girls Bar, 1938 to 1969. So that's very interesting because it really gives us a sense of women who were gay way back in the 30s. And she's a dancer actor. Then we have Janice Cronetti. She has a piece called My Year of Saying No. This was during the pandemic, beginning with the pandemic in 2020. And we have Faye Hauser Price. She's going to do poetry, a piece called Lady of the Southland. And then we have Smita Russell. She has a piece called Odds Are, about a woman who's had more than one pregnancy. And actually, I think 2 that actually survived. But because she and her husband wanted to continue to have children, she had multiple pregnancies and was blessed to actually have, I believe, 2 children. Saturday matinee, A Look Back in Time. We have, and let me tell you who the co-hosts are. So for Friday night, got my cheat sheet here. The co-hosts are Jonna Cole Houston, who is an actor, producer, host, and Jessica Lynn Johnson. She's a producer, director, coach. And then for Saturday matinee, we've got, for our co-host, we have Lula Washington, co-founder of Lula Washington Dance Theater, and Rosie Lee Hooks, one of the founders of Sweet Honey in the Rock, actually. And then the performers are Vanessa Adams Harris. She's portraying Rosa Parks in a piece called Rosa Parks. We've got Tashara Gobbin Moorhead. Hers is, and she's a dancer, entitled The Spirit of Jazz. We've got Hope Levy. She's doing a piece called The Connie Converse Universe, a woman who was one of the very first, maybe the first, modern folk singer-songwriter. And Melissa Lugo has a piece called For You. Saturday evening, the theme is Unsilenced, and that's co-hosted by Yvonne Farrow with the Department of Cultural Affairs, Kat Kramer, who has her own company, and she just happens to be the daughter of Stanley Kramer and the goddaughter of Katharine Hepburn.
Wow.
Thus her name.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, additionally, we have Saturday night, and that theme for Saturday night is, as I think I said, Unsilenced.
Mm-hmm.
And we have performing that night, we have Mayuri Bandari, a piece called The Anti-Yogi. And boy, can she do yoga. It's amazing what she can do with her body. It's just amazing. We have Laura Elaine Ellis, who's returning after many years. She lives in the Bay Area. She's a dancer. And she's going to be dancing to a piece written by Tony Hines, and the piece is called A Black Woman's Truth. And I will probably be doing the voiceover that you'll hear as she's dancing. Caroline Hawthorne, she has a piece called The iPhone Arias. And Sugute Miller has a piece called Tragic Magic. And Sunday afternoon, the theme is Encore, co-hosted by Lynn Connor and Terry Silverman. And the performers are Liza Dealey Thomason. Her piece is Supernova. Sona Lewis has 2 dance pieces, Goddess Song and Tarana. And we have Sharon Nairee Williams. She's a poet. Her piece is entitled Legacy. And rounding out all of the 6 programs, Sunday evening at 7 p.m., we have Family Portraits. Christina Linhart is going to be one of the co-hosts, along with Catherine Taylor Smith. And the performers are Katie Chen. Her piece is called Holy Shiitake, A Walk Star is Born. Dee Freeman has a piece called Poison Gun. Victoria Kelleher, Daddy Issues. And ending the lineup, we have Alice Manning, and her piece is called Manning's Madhouse, about her family with 9 children.
Adilah, we're running out of time. Just quickly, how much does it cost for tickets? How do I get them?
Individuals who would like to join us, and we hope that others will, they can go to our website, which again is lawtf.org, and they will be routed to Eventbrite where they can purchase tickets.
The way you do this every year, I mean, folks don't understand. When you end one of these devices, you're starting already for the next year.
Starting all over again. That's right. That's right. Starting in April.
Indeed, indeed. All I can say is thank you for putting on another event. Oh yeah, one more thing. You have a person who works with you. He's your publicist. I'd be wrong if I didn't mention his name. Philip Sokoloff.
That's him. That's him.
Oh.
I'm so glad that I connected the 2 of you together, because now he has become a guest on your show. So it's really wonderful how that circle just continues to widen.
3 words I can say to you, madam. Break a leg.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stronger together.
Appreciate you having me again.
Anytime. We'll see you next year.
Next year. Okay.
Okay.
We hope folks will come on out.
Okay. All righty.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony.
What's he doing now?
He's calling everybody, ranting and raving, talking crazy shit about the revolution that's coming.
You really want everybody to gear up and go to war against the Tea Party?
Yes, because they're gearing up to go to war against us. Our president gets over 30 death threats a day. They are murdering our babies in the street.
What else do you expect me to call it?
Here you go. Now you can talk. Now you can talk. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is a critically acclaimed television, film, and stage actor. Glad to say that he's got stage. A lot of people don't want to do that. He currently has 119 actor credits, which he started back in 1985. Not bad. Not bad, y'all. Not bad. They call him JJ as a nickname. He also has recurring roles on The Morning Show starring Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon and others. Hanging out. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Marshall Jones. Greetings, John, and welcome to the Actor's Choice, my brother. Welcome over.
Ron, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, like a brother should. By the way, who was that up there just a moment with that picture with? Who was those 2 guys? Who was those guys?
Which 2?
That was still you and another guy. You were talking to him, and he was talking back to you. You know who I'm talking. Levi.
Oh, Levy Lee.
Levy Lee from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think from Harlem.
Yes, so am I. But yeah,
one of the great writers of our generation that has not been discovered by the masses yet, but when they do, you're going to find something special.
Nice background you got there. Nice background on the wall and where you live at. Looks good. Looks good.
Oh, hey, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Where were you born at?
Well, I was born in Detroit, but my parents moved to Caracas, Venezuela when I was about 6 months old and stayed there till I was about 4.
Oh, you ever go back to Detroit to see the people?
Yeah. I still have family members in Detroit. You know, my neighborhood has changed quite a bit. So it's one of those places where, you know, you need to know somebody when you come back.
Got you. What got you into this business?
When I was 5 years old, my parents put me into the Passion Play at church. And, you know, it's in the manger, and that's where Jesus is born with all the animals. So we all played different animals. I played the dove. Mm-hmm. And at halftime or intermission, they had to unzip the cow because Bible study was in August and it was hot in that cow. And they couldn't get him zipped back up when the intermission was over. So lights came up, the director was freaking out. And, you know, when I was a kid on television, if it went out, this card came up on your TV that said, due to circumstances beyond our control, there will be a slight delay. And that's how my sister taught me to read. So when the lights came up and nobody knew what to do, I walked out at 5 years old in my little dove costume and said, due to circumstances beyond our control, there will be a slight delay. And the audience went bananas. And I did not understand why. But I did know I'd gotten my first laugh. And I wasn't going back after that.
Now, when you write your book, you'll put all this in there, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to include some things in the book. You know, a lot of it, too, is the discovery of the power of image production that comes out of Hollywood and how that affects the entire world. And specifically, it has an effect for Black people, because what Hollywood sends out is what the world thinks Black people are. And I wanted to make sure to do my part to make sure that that was a positive thing.
How'd you like Oscar last night?
You know, the game has changed a lot, and a lot of the most profound stuff that's on the screen is coming through on television now. And it's not so much a movie business. You know, the movie business, the Oscars now got stuff that premiered on Netflix. Right. So I don't know exactly what to say anymore.
I see you got your first credit in 1985. It was called Screen Test.
Yes. Yeah.
Took you way back. Where was you?
No, that was right after college. It was my first movie. And during the audition process, the director called me in and said, hey, listen, you are the best person for the role. There's no doubt. You did the best audition. But my producers don't think we could sell a movie with a young Black lead. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to offer you another part. And being my first part out, I took it. Said, okay, I get it. What I didn't understand was that was a harbinger for what Hollywood was going to do. That it wasn't just them, that was the business. And that overcoming that is what African Americans overall have gone through for the last 30, 40 years. And now you see these young Black leads, this brother Aaron Pierre that's just eating it up out there right now, has an opportunity to be a Black leading man hero that just wasn't there when I was his age. But it is there because this generation that I'm part of kind of blazed the trail for what's going on right now, which I think is a real positive thing. I'm really excited for these young brothers and sisters that are out here making some incredible films right now and doing some incredible TV. I'm excited for them.
Speaking of young people in this business, we just happen to have a clip or two. Tony, would you roll the first one?
Capital League TV.
I'm Niles Holt, and you're watching Capital League TV. Since 2019, Kappa Leaguers from across the country have been introducing themselves in similar fashion.
My name is Hunter Goins from Decatur Kappa League, and you're watching Kappa League TV.
Reporting for Kappa League TV, I'm Luke Williams.
Reporting for Kappa League TV, I'm Joshua Hardy.
You're watching Kappa League TV.
You're watching Kappa League TV. Kappa League is a leadership development program, which is part of Guide.
Wow. Tell me about, how'd you get involved in that situation?
Well, I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, and you know, had been busy with other professional stuff, but got involved back again about 6 years ago. And the brothers immediately asked me, you know, how I could bring my skills to, you know, benefit what we're doing. And we came up with this concept of Kappa League TV, which is to give young Black men, where the image in the media at the time was all about wearing hoodies and having your pants sagging and being kind of threatening on media. We wanted to create another image that represented what we think is the majority of Black teens, which is that they're smart, they're articulate. We have young men in shirts and ties asking intelligent questions of intelligent people who, when they answer them intelligently, they are acknowledging the intelligence of the person that asked the question. So Kappa League TV exists as a place for intelligent young people to really express themselves with the things that are important to them, and to push back against the narrative that Black teens are dangerous or uneducated or lazy or whatever it is you want to say. You don't get to making material like that, being dangerous, being lazy, not being able to put a story together, being able to figure out what a shirt and tie looks like, how it's tied, how the shirt is put on, how you present yourself on camera, how you talk to people. It is the public relations arm of Guide Right, which is our mentorship program, which is founded in 1922, is the oldest and most successful African-American male-led mentorship program in U.S. history. We've mentored over 700,000 young men. We send 1,000 young men to college every year, and Kappa League TV is a part of that.
I like what you said about the idea of what these young people are. I started back in broadcasting back in the 60s, and it was a different world then. Now, exactly what you say, you've seen changes, and these young people are coming up. I have a group that I work around, which you might have heard of them. A lot of people know who they are, the Tuskegee Airmen. And they recently started a program over at Tuskegee, Alabama, where young people can be pilots and know how to fly. And look at what you got going in.
Interestingly enough, we have a similar program, and you and I should get together and exchange information.
Love to.
Regarding helping our young people to get access to not only flying, but all of the different professions that surround the maintenance of flying, the air traffic control, the air mechanical, the air electrical. All of those are six-figure jobs that a lot of our kids don't know they have access to, but through programs like Tuskegee Airmen, we can make sure that they do.
When you sit down and talk to them, what do they say to you?
Well, the first thing that they talk about in terms of our organization is how they've learned about brotherhood. And I think it's a really important thing for young Black men to have a place where not only can they create brotherhood amongst their peers, but where they can watch Black men as a group interact with each other in a respectful, congenial way, where we're all working toward the same goal and are focused on the achievement of that goal. So they can learn that that is part of the Black experience also, not just what they see out on the streets.
Because I have the pleasure, there's a guy called Stevie Wonder. I worked for him for about 17 years. And he was able to give us a good opportunity to teach people how to do that. And these young people, I'm seeing veterans, I'm seeing middle people, I'm seeing a lot of people, they want to get a chance. They went, hey, I'm just as good as that white guy sitting over there. I'm just as good as that guy over there. How come I can't get a job? How come?
Yeah, well,
How come we got one?
Yeah, that we have, by and large, spent the last 50, 60 years integrating into society. And that's been very successful for a large number of Black people and not as successful for another large number of Black people. And that we are at the point now where it's obvious that the administration that's in does not see diversity, equity, and inclusion as part of their future. And so we have to include each other. This is the time where we really need to come together, start working together as separate organizations to create this network of opportunities for our young people.
Tony, would you roll it?
YouTube channel that empowers Kappa Leaguers, giving them a voice to tell stories of how the young men and their mentors are impacting their community.
I'm here at Kennesaw State University with Kappa Leaguers, and they're currently packing snack packs to distribute them to the youth from the Center of Children and Young Adults.
From community service, gaming,
is it more work or play?
That's a great question.
Sports.
What advice do you have for Kappa Leaguers who want to get involved in golf but may not know where to start?
Social justice.
Tell us about some of the work you've done in respect to social justice and civil rights issues.
As an entrepreneur yourself, can you tell us about some of the products you completed?
Entrepreneurism and business.
Vote.
You're not old enough to vote, but you're encouraging other people to vote.
Voter education, and much more. Kappa Leaguers in major cities all over America.
Wow. How can you, if I'm out here and I just saw what you showed me, how can I get involved in that?
You can come to our website, which would be nationalguiderite.org. You can also come to KAP, capital KAP, small SI, so capsci1911.com, and just look for the drop-down menu that says Kappa League. And you can come over there, you can not only get information, but you can fill out a form that will allow us to then contact you. We have 215 chapters around the country. So just about every place where you are, there's a Kappa League chapter nearby. We mentor over 10,000 young men every year, and we're growing. And part of our goal is to have 132,000 young men, 140,000 go through our program by 2032. So we're looking to grow the program. We have a part of our program is called Pathway to College, where we start at the freshman year or 8th grade, getting our young people to understand that even though affirmative action was rolled back, the money is still there. And the access to it goes through a 3.6 GPA, a 26 ACT, and 2 AP credits. If you can achieve those three things, you have access to a full ride scholarship at many, many colleges, both PWIs and HBCUs. And we do that for 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. Then 11th grade, we've got another program called Your Next Steps, which then takes them through preparing for the college application, doing the college application, getting in first in line, because if you ever been in a big family, you know what happens when you come late to the dinner table, you get whatever's left over. So getting them in so that they can get their applications in, have them done well, put them in the channel with mentors that can help them with the major that they want to major in, the job they want to go to, so you can put all of that together into your college application process. And last year, Kappa Leaguers received $19.5 million in scholarship offers from around the country. So we apply to a lot of different places. We lead that application process. And it's because we could never raise $19.5 million on our own. But the network that we have from all of these Black professionals that are in positions to know where the money is, and all you got to do is ask them, and they always tell you, oh yeah, just put it over here and now apply right here. And they always give you the insight, but you have to ask. And so in order for us to ask correctly, we have to position our young men so that when we make the ask, they are the cream of the crop. So that's basically what we're working on right now.
See that color you got on there? It's red, but you're looking for green, my brother.
Hey, brother, listen. Red and green go together. Merry Christmas.
Gentlemen, thank you for being a guest on our program. Please come back again in the future. Until then, best wishes.
Ron, listen, best wishes to you. I've seen you around for a long time, brother, and you are still doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
I can't tell you how old I am, but I'm having fun. I love it. It's fun.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, John Marshall Jones. Roll it, Tony. Next guest is a young man who I've known for a while, 1 or 2 times. Seen him some places. Oh, there he is right there. Handsome as suave the guy. My next guest today is an award-winning actor, screenwriter, playwright, and director. Man does a lot of stuff. Man, one guy. Here's the thing. He's also the author of over 40 plays which have been produced and read in theaters around the country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo, hot dog.
Yeah. How are you, Ron?
I'm doing fine. I haven't finished yet, but I'll do that.
Okay.
Among his many acting roles, ladies and gentlemen, he was a cast member in the Pulitzer Prize-winning, Tony-nominated Broadway production of, quote, The Kentucky Cycle. Okay. So, without further ado, please welcome the one, the only, here we go, Levy Lee. I say that in a minute. Levy Lee Simon.
Hey,
good to
how
see
you doing? Thank you for having me. You are the myth,
man.
the man, the legend. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, man, good to see you. So good to see you.
Yes.
Yeah, you heard about the passing of a young lady. Where I put it?
Roberta Flack.
Roberta Flack, yeah.
Yes, I did. You know, she's definitely part of the tapestry of my life, you know, all those amazing songs that we grew up with. And, you know, she left her mark, you know, it's job well done, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to use the videos that I had already gotten. And one that I found was called Harlem Bobby.
Harlem Bobby?
Yes, that's you standing there with Harlem behind you.
Oh, well, you know, I'm born and raised in Harlem, USA, and you know, you know, I've been told that I wear it on my chest like a badge, and
all right,
and I do.
What's wrong with that, folks? I'm from New York City. I'm from Harlem. Shoot.
I know.
Born and raised in Harlem Hospital.
Born and raised, right? You know. Yeah, it's not the same though. You know, gentrification has changed Harlem. You know, we grew up when Harlem was really Harlem, man. You know? Yeah.
There was something that caught my eye. What did I do with it? Something about the name of Harlem, because actually there are two, ladies and gentlemen, there are two Harlems. There's Harlem, and then there's the other Harlem. Where did I put it in? Where did I put it in? It is
well, you know, they're calling Harlem now Harlem Heights and New Harlem.
Spanish. That's it, Spanish.
Oh, Spanish Harlem. Well,
Spanish
yeah,
Harlem,
I mean, that was adjacent, right? You know, and one of the beautiful things, you know, I went to high school at Julia Richmond on 57th Street. You know, the neighborhood, 40% Black, 40% Puerto Rican, and 20% everybody else. There was never any tension racially or anything like that. We all got
All
along.
got along. Yeah.
You know, everyone just loved on each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there was any conflict, it had to do with neighborhoods, that kind of thing, but not racially. There was not any racial tension at all, which always kind of like, you know,
Yes.
where we are today compared to where we are today is a totally different thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the first ladies that I met was a young lady who was Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Wow."
Oh
I
yeah.
had my nose right here.
Oh yeah. Hey, beautiful culture, beautiful people, you know, beautiful women.
Yes. Oh, there it is. I found it. I found it in front of me. Let's see. East Harlem and also Spanish Harlem once again. But see, like here in LA, you know, I live in South Central. No, you don't
Okay.
live in South Central. They changed the name because you know
Mm.
they now call it just plain old Central Los Angeles.
Wow, really? Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
The reason for that was the people who live in Central LA, they were always being said, well, there's nothing but thieves and shoot 'em up, bang, bang, and all that good stuff. We don't do that. That's just a few people over here.
Right.
Majority are over here, and we're good, clean people. And they
Yeah.
went to City Hall, and they put it, passed it up through them, and
Right.
now the last couple of years, it's Central Los Angeles.
Wow.
So
Wow.
keep that right in mind. If you ever do that, you have two Harlems. First question, my brother, where were you born? Yeah, back in those days. You are a busy guy. I was doing some search and I found a video that the video is something that you're doing. What the heck is it called? Oh, here it is. It's called The Last Revolutionary. I found that video. Unfortunately I can't play it now because we're having some technical problems.
Okay, well, you know, The Last Revolutionary is a feature film. It started out as a play. I adapted it to a feature film with John Marshall Jones, and Michael Brewer directed. Madeline Liebert was a producer on it, and it's been a while now. We opened the Pan African Film Festival back in 2018, but the film can now be seen on Amazon Prime,
Uh-huh.
and we have done really well with that. You know, we've got a really high IMDb rating, high ratings across the board. You
Right.
know, and people are still watching it. You know, I play the lead character. Well,
You
actually,
did.
John Marshall Jones and I, you
Yes.
know, play the leads, and it's all about check it out. It's all about a revolutionary who seems to be stuck in the past of the '60s, but then we find out that everything he is wanting to talk about, wanting to strike out about, is actually happening in real time as we see today. So there is a need for that kind of resistance or whatever. But the story is really kind of a relationship story about these two guys. The other guy has, you know, since left the revolution, or so to speak, and he's, you know, working a real job. And we find out late in the movie that his is a secret. I'm not going to give it away, but we find out what that job is, and it's a shocking moment, and then it takes a twist, and yeah, I'm very proud of that.
I know.
I'm very proud of that piece. Yes.
Yes. See, Michael Brewer was the director, and only Marla Gibbs was in that play.
Marla
That
Gibbs did
movie.
a cameo. Yeah, she
Yes.
did a cameo in the film, and she
Yes.
was so wonderful. She only has a few lines, but she almost steals the movie.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. What is John Marshall Jones doing these days?
John is, oh, he's working. He's a working actor. He's doing a lot of TV episodics and stuff, you know. Maybe you should have him on your show.
Yes, please
I
tell
can
me.
make
Come
that
on
happen.
down. Yeah.
I can make that happen. You know, John is, you know, he's a hardworking, you know, one of Hollywood's hardworking actors, you know, he's doing his thing. Yeah.
Yes. Tell us about your life and your work.
Well, you know, I think I mentioned in our phone conversation, you know, I wrote a memoir that came
Mhm.
out last year called Odyssey Towards the Light. Here it is. That's it right there. and it's all about my life and growing up in Harlem. There you go, growing up in Harlem and as a black man, I think we all have our stories, right? Mine is unique in the sense that the neighborhood that I grew up in, Ron, 115th Street, was is a tough little block growing up, and most of those cats are, sadly, not around anymore. Many of them fell um, fell victim to the streets, and and I was able to somehow, with the grace of God and a lot of people, my parents, my high school football coach, who was one of two black football coaches in all of New York City, and he was like a second father to me, and I was a very good athlete, in high school, and which got me to college. And and I'm one of I'm a dinosaur. I'm one of the rare people from that community that actually, I don't want to say got out, but made something of my life. And I feel blessed that that has happened, but it wasn't without trials and tribulations. In the '80s, I was a party guy, man. I love to go to the parties and chase the girls and all of that, and I maybe partied too much. you know, Had a fall from grace, but it's not that you fall, it's that you rise back up.
Yeah.
My life now, I live as a sober person. I live, with the blessing, of a higher power, which I call God, and I feel like I have a purpose, which we've been gifted these gifts, and
Yes.
want to be able to share the gifts, that I have as an artist, as a writer, as an actor, hopefully to make a difference in the world.
Yes.
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
I have something here that says you are a man who loves memoirs. Why is that?
Well, you know, first of all, writing my own memoir was so cathartic in that I was able to look back at my life and just see it from almost from a distance, and it was very interesting, to see the patterns, of my life. And when I read other memoirs, my sister told me years ago, she says, you just need to stop everything you're doing and write your memoir, you know. And I started reading memoirs, and I didn't really know how to like get into it because I didn't want it to be um a self-indulgent, I'm kind of adverse to that kind of thing. But at the same time, I wanted to read, more like a novel than this. Oh man, look at me. Oh yeah, by the way, look at me. you know, I didn't want it to read like that, and from what I've been told, in people that have read it, feel like it reads like a novel,
Mhm.
yeah, so.
Wow. Here's a name that I know you know very well.
Mm.
Ben Guillory.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Ben Guillory, we have partnered, and we've done collaborated on how many projects? I mean, we did the Haitian trilogy, we did the Magnificent Dunbar Hotel, we did a heated discussion twice, a heated discussion and a heated discussion revisited. A number of readings, a number of short plays. So, and this has been a relationship that has been ongoing since 2001. As you know, the Roby Theater is one of the longest running theaters in LA. They just had a 35th anniversary, I believe. And that's hard. That's hard to do, continuously. He and Danny Glover have just been, consistent, and I feel that I'm a part of that, that legacy, So yeah, Mr. Ben Guillory, for sure.
Roby Theater. Goodness. Any other? Tell us about your upcoming project. believe it has something to do with agenda.
Man, Ron, I'm so busy. My personally, professionally, I feel blessed. There's so much stuff going on in the world, and I just wanted to like just kind of laser focus in on the work. And trying to be relevant, trying to make a difference. I have a movie scheduled to come out in Atlanta next month in March. It's a comedy called The Stuttering Preacher, which I adapted from one of my plays, and it's a comedy. It's all about a preacher who stutters that's always trying to get laid. And
Did he say what I thought he said?
you know.
Yeah.
And Javon Johnson, who is another great friend of mine, and he's on the Oval right now. Been on the Oval for Tyler Perry's the Oval for a while, and he has a production company. He did the play here in LA back in '09. It's been a while, but he wanted to. The lead, let's make a movie, and I'm like, oh, hey, you don't have to twist my arm. So, so we shot the movie last year, and it's in post right now. So hopefully we'll get it out. Then I have some projects, theater projects that are going up in New York in the late spring, early summer. We're kind of working things out right now, but we're doing a reading of For the Love of Freedom, the trilogy, a Haitian trilogy, which I always wanted to be done in New York because of New York has such a large population of Caribbean people, and black and white. Of course, the Roby Theater did that originally here in LA. So we're working on getting that to New York. And then I have a couple of other projects that I cannot really talk about because they're in development, but I could say that the name of the producer is John Ewing, who has been doing some amazing things with Vendetta Films. He actually optioned my Bow Wow Club screenplay. And so we're looking to do some big things coming up here, man. I'm really excited about them. Working on some new writing and stuff. I felt like it was time because I hadn't written anything in a couple of years, and so now working on some new projects, writing projects, and trying to stay busy, man. Trying to stay relevant, and especially in this era,
Yes.
where things are not necessarily right, and especially with what they do is they try to cut the arts out. Heard what happened at with the Kennedy Center and all that. But we have to stay
What was
diligent.
that about? Do you know?
Amen. Well, you know what it's about. It's about power and control ultimately, and who has the voice, the artists. The artists are the ones that shed light on the masses to show people a different way. That's what we do, and that's what I stand on the shoulders of those artists that came before me that were wanting to do things that were significant, not just ha ha ha, laugh, 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 and entertain, but also to educate, also to inspire, change, and tell the truth. And so and they want to, that's the first thing they want to get. They don't want the truth. That's the first thing they want to get rid of. But I'm diligent and committed, that my work be about that. There's definitely a method to the madness. There's a purpose.
Baby, how many hats do you wear?
Well, you know what, Ron? I think I may have mentioned this before, but it's so funny. I started out as an actor, right, in New York City, and I got that whole hardcore New York theater background. I am a New York theater snob. I'm very critical of all that stuff that comes in New York City, and then I started writing, and I started writing out of a sense of responsibility. I would, as an actor, I'd read a lot of stuff and like, what is this? I don't know what this is. I don't know how important it is, or maybe it was just bad writing. But Nathan George, my mentor, one of my mentors, told me years ago. He said, Lee, if you wanna act in a great play, you want to do something important, write it yourself. And when he said that, it hit me in the head like a sledgehammer. So now it's like I say, acting is my love, writing is my responsibility, and I take that seriously. And then I found out that I had, been around for a while, I have some talent for directing, which I also love. And producing is just kind of like by default. People ask me, or out of necessity. I've learned how to do that. Isn't and there's a lot of satisfaction when something that you are producing actually, happens. You make it happen. And yeah, but yeah, man, I wear these hats, but I'm passionate about the acting and that well, all of it, but the writing as well. Very, very passionate about that.
Baby Lee, it's been a blessing to both hear you and see you, sir. Do come back again. We're running out of time.
I'm always willing, and whenever you call, I'm gonna be there, bro.
Thank you. Best of luck, and do break a leg.
Yeah, man, that's what we do. Break legs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lady May Simon.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Take care of yourself. Take care.
Okay, take care now. All right.
Oh, horrible. I love that.